Once again, good morning, dear students. So, in the last video, we have seen regarding the psychosexual development by Sigmund Freud, and the second theory, which explains the personality development of the child and the individual, is psychosocial development. So, this is the theory which is developed by Erik Erikson, and this is the picture of that particular theorist. And this is the most widely accepted theory of personality development which is made by Erik Erikson, because the psychosexual development, some people are not very well accepting the theory which explains the personality development, and it is the theory, psychosocial development theory is mostly accepted by majority of the individuals, which supports the personality development. So the basis of the theory, what is the basis of the psychosocial theory is that he describes the key conflicts or the core problems that the individual strives to master during the critical periods in personality development. So, successful completion or mastery of each of these core conflicts is built on the satisfactory completion or mastery of the previous core. So, this is the explanation of psychosocial development theory. So, what he explains is there are certain core problems for each individual in each developmental stages. And in each developmental stages, the individual is striving to master that particular core problem or the situation. And if the person is mastering that particular or completing that particular core problem, he will have a positive aspect of the personality, and if he fails, it may go into a negative aspect of the personality. So he has given certain core problem to master in each stage. So these are the some of the core problems, and he explains what is the negative side of that particular core problem. So you will be understanding, like, there are core problem like mastery, completion is there, and if it is not mastered or completed, what is the another situation in which he will be going through. So this is the personality development theory by Erik Erikson. So we can see each psychological stage has two components, the favorable and unfavorable aspects of the core conflict, and progress to the next stage depends on the resolution of this conflict. So each stage has two components. One is favorable, one is unfavorable. And how we are trying to master that particular problem or mastery over that particular problem, depending upon that, our progression will be there. So that is what is happening in the each stage of development. No core conflict is ever mastered completely but remains a recurrent problem throughout the life. And one more thing he added is nobody can completely get mastery over each conflict. So we are trying to get maximum. That is what is happening in each stage. So we can see there are 8 stages according to the personality development theory, that is psychosocial development theory by Erik Erikson, and first 5 stages are relating to childhood, and in this session we will be discussing about the first 5, just similar to the psychosexual theory by Sigmund Freud. First 5 we have discussed, and in this also first 5 we will be discussing, because these 5 are related to children. So the first stage of development and the core conflicts are trust versus mistrust. So the stage of development is for birth to 1 year. First 1 year, that is for the infant, the conflict task is trust versus mistrust. The favorable part is trust and favorable part is mistrust. So in the first infancy stage, in the first 1 year of life, the child is trying to develop trust. Otherwise, the person will go for a level of mistrust. The first and most important attribute to develop for a healthy personality is a basic trust. So, the personality development, when we want to make a social interaction, we should have a trust over the people with whom we want to discuss or we want to contact. Establishment of basic trust dominates the first year of life and describes all the child's satisfying experiences at this age. So the child develops trust when he gets satisfactory experiences during this first 1 year. So the food needs are met, the toiletry needs are met, the hygienic needs are met. Then the child develops trust on the particular person or the people who satisfy his needs. So that is the development of trust. So it is a time of getting in and taking in through all the senses. So he is sensing everything. So what all things he is getting, what all things he is taking, everything should be satisfactory. It exists only in relation to something or someone. Therefore, consistent loving care by a mothering person is essential to the development of trust. So whenever he gets things, some things are taken for him, everything should be satisfactory with consistent loving, caring attitude should be given for the child. So that mothering person is very important to develop trust for an infant. So mother has to talk with the baby, smile at the face of the baby, hold the baby closely, feed the baby with adequate breast milk, then properly clean the baby whenever the child needs, and routine bathing and other care of toiletry, everything we have to provide. Bathing should be with warm water. So these all are the activities which is to be given for the child, which increase the trust of the child towards the caregiver. So mistrust develop when trust promoting experiences are deficient or lacking, or when basic needs are inconsistently or inadequately met. So now the child needs a food, care, hygiene, everything. So these all care is lacking or it is not met consistently or adequately, the child develops mistrust. So favorable outcomes, if the person has developed positive trust towards the caregiver, he will have faith, optimism in the future personality. So these are the favorable outcomes of trust development. So hope you all clear with the trust versus mistrust. So in the psychosocial development, every time we will have each stages, and each stage the child has to finish certain favorable task and unfavorable task. We are striving towards the development of the favorable task. So in the infant, the child has the favorable task of trust, and if the trust is not developed, it will be progressing into the mistrust. In the second stage, that is 1 to 3 years, the name of the child is toddler, and now we'll have the autonomy versus shame and doubt. And it is corresponding to the Freud's anal stage. So in the previous theory, we have discussed that 1 to 3 years is with the anal stage, and it is corresponding to the anal stage, that is autonomy versus the shame and doubt in psychosocial development. The problem of autonomy can be symbolized by the holding on and letting go of the sphincter muscle. So here the main autonomy is in the elimination, and the development of autonomy during toddler period is centered around child's increasing ability to control their bodies, themselves and their environment. So during this time the child has increased locomotion. He can access various things. He can do a feed by himself, eliminate by or the defecation by himself, and various activities will be done by the child itself. Dressing, some amount of helping in dressing can be done. So these are the parts of autonomy versus shame and doubt. They want to do the things for themselves. They want to feed by themselves. They want to put dress by themselves. Using their newly acquired motor skills of walking, climbing, and manipulating, and their mental powers of selection and decision making. They will have the choice on dress selection, food selection, everything. So these all skills are developed, and they will be trying to utilize these skills already developed. So this is what is happening in the toddler period with autonomy versus doubt and shame. So they want to paint, they want to make calls with others, and negative feelings of doubt and shame arise when children are made to feel small and self-conscious, when their choices are disastrous, when others shame them, and or when they are forced to be dependent in areas in which they are capable of assuming control. So in these all areas, like when they feel, when others show shame on them, and they are again dependent on the areas they can control, they will have the shame and doubt feelings. So when they successfully completes the autonomy, the favorable outcomes are self-control and willpower. So when they successfully completing this autonomy versus doubt and shame in the toddler period, they will have self-control and willpower. Another one is initiative versus guilt. So that happens between 3 to 6 years in the preschool child, and is corresponding to the Freud's phallic stage. It is characterized by vigorous, intrusive behavior, enterprise, and strong imagination. So during that time, they will have imaginations, and that they will be showing in the initiating of various activities. Children explore the physical world with all their senses and powers. No longer guided only by outsiders, there is an inner voice that warns and threatens. So when they find some fire, it is dangerous. They know there is nobody to guide them. So they have their inner voice which is warning, threatening, and guiding them. So this is what is happening in the preschool period. So they will explore the physical environment surrounding the home, and they will do many activities by themselves. Children sometimes undertake goals or activities that are in conflict with those of parents or others, and being made to feel that their activities and imaginings are bad produces sense of guilt. So when there is conflict between adults' imaginations and children's imaginations, they will have the conflict, like sense of guilt will be appearing. Children must learn to retain a sense of initiative without impinging others on the rights and privileges of others. So we have to ensure that they are not causing harm to others, and we have to train in a such a way that their inner voice should be supporting their activities positively. The lasting outcomes of initiative versus doubt and shame, initiative versus guilt is, lasting outcomes are direction and purpose. They will have a good direction and purpose in their activities. So we'll stop here and we'll continue in the next video regarding the next two stages of development. So